see. We were going to do a tier 10 nightmare. So this dungeon is going to give us bonus frost damage. It will have the blood blisters that will spawn and explode if I don't kill them. And monsters will have extra attack speed. The Onyx Hold in the dry steeps. And it's a dungeon I haven't unlocked because I haven't done the stronghold guarding it. Okay, this one, Feral's Den. I know I have this one. We're going to deal increased healing, which is amazing. I do heal. And then the blood blister again and monster bleeding damage. And then I kind of like one-handed weapons and totems because it gives you an extra effect. But I do see why people don't go for it just for the pure damage on all abilities. But I can see some use cases where just having that one extra unique effect will be helpful. I was kind of thinking about doing that for myself with one of the things. Because there's just so many effects that I could stack together with both Earth and Bear. It kind of means that I need to invest twice as much in a lot of ways. So having that extra effect could be useful for me. Off the top of my head, I can't think of which extra one I really wanted. Yeah, if you equip the offhand and the two-handed weapon, and then mouse back over the comparison tooltip for your two-hander, quite often it will say, oh, it's only like 20 DPS ahead to where the two-hander. But when you look at it the other way around, when you have the two-hander on and you're just mousing over one of the one-handers, it will say your DPS is missing 600. So maybe some people are just being thrown off by the tooltip and not trying to equip both the one-handers before they really doubt how good it is. It's interesting. I hope they do pair up. But one of the other things is when you mouse over the aspect, for quite a lot of them, it will say there's a 100% bonus for a two-handed weapon. So if you can't find an extra effect that you want, it might just be useful to have the effect that you do want be 100% more powerful. Yeah, so yeah, there's a lot to think about there. I'm sure some maths genius will figure it out, but that's not me. If I need maths done, I use my charisma skill to ask someone who's good at maths to do the maths for me. Or I find a calculator on the internet. I don't have any points in maths, it's all charisma. So let's get a better breakdown of our extra effects from the dungeon. We can only die 12 times. That's not written on here, but it is written on the right hand side once we get off here. 10% more healing. That is fantastic for me. I do healing with every single spell I cast, and double with pulverize. Killing a monster has a chance to spawn a blood blister. After a short time it explodes, dealing heavy area damage, and it's got a massive radius on it. They don't tell you that here, but it does. Monsters deal an additional 22% of the physical damage as bleeding. So that's something they often have at the end, and it's not particularly interesting. There's other ones where instead of the blood blister, you'll have a storm chasing you that constantly goes off if you try and stand still, and that one's really harsh. But yeah, these guys should be level 63, the same level as me, and I clear them so quickly and so easily. It's funny. It's funny how well geared I am right now. Yeah, level 63. Dead in practically one spell, but just had to cast something else to finish them off. La 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 la. Bear is strong. There's a blood blister. Bang. Did you see the area? It was gonna go across the world. Yeah. I think this is the problem with the werewolf. The werewolf does not have easy access to more overpower. And because the bear has more overpower chance, or at least some built in, you can then get overpower crits. Whereas the werewolf kind of has to rely on regular crits, and it's so rare that you'll get an overpower, you just have the 3% base chance. So the bear's going to end up doing more damage. The werewolf just attacks fast, and that's kind of it. But there's no good attacking really, really fast if you don't deal the damage with it. And not only is the werewolf based around trying to get a kind of a good crit damage, the bear, if I press the right button, with this lucky hit system, which has the chance to give me my spirit back that I was talking about earlier, I have a 5% base chance, but also quite likely the other two 10% chances added on top. So a 25% chance, very regularly, to cause all my attacks to be critical strikes for the next 5 seconds. And then you can keep on proccing over and over. In a long fight, I get to the point where I'm just guaranteed to crit forever, all the time. And the werewolf, even though it would love to crit all the time, just can't compete with that. It just won't. I haven't found anything along the way that's going to do that for me. The best you can do is get 1 crit every 6 attacks. There we go. You saw, like, partway into that fight, just every number became yellow once I get the proc. Yeah, I just think Werewolf needs another pass-through by Blizzard. Also, I came across an interesting bug on one of the days where Shred stopped working. When you had it and you held the right mouse button, you did the first shred, but then it wouldn't follow up with the second and third attack, no matter what. So I ended up just standing there in combat. And the only way to fix it, on my end, until they fix it properly, I don't know if it's something to do with the unique modifiers that I had on at the time, but the only way to fix it was to actually rapidly right-click. So I was sitting there, destroying my mouse by hammering the right-click key instead of being able to hold it, and it was dreadful. And I just came back out of Werewolf and went straight back into Bear, because it was driving me nuts. Yeah. So that's all the animus monsters defeated. We can now open the door and get through. But yeah, it could be something to do with some of the unique modifiers. I had all sorts of crazy, strange things for Shred, and maybe it's just one particular thing that doesn't like it. There's another bug as well that's absolutely awful. I have the option of having any of 3 different keystone passives and have it work. I could have Nature's Fury and have all my Earth spells, also kind of cast Storm spells sometimes. I do like that one. I have a lot of fun with that. But also, there's no reason why I shouldn't be able to use Ursine Strength to give me 20% additional max life, and while I'm healthy, which is all the time, 30% increased damage. But that actually doesn't work. They broke it with this item that permanently makes you a bear. Even though you are always a bear, you do not count as being a bear for this, unless you take the item off when you zone into a dungeon, and then go to human form, cast a skill that turns you into a bear, and then put the item back on, and then this will work and give you the additional max life and damage. And I can prove it, like right now. Like, we've got 3,437 health. Take it out, put it in. I didn't gain any health. Uh-oh, it's not working. I'll cast a spell. Nope, still didn't get the extra health. But, ooh, let's see. Take this off. Wait until it changes me back. Turn to a bear. Put it back on. And... oh, no, it didn't even work that time. Hold on. Or did it? Is that my health with the extra thing on? Maybe they fixed it this morning. No, look, I've got the 3,400 again instead of the 3,800. Even though I am bare. I am bare. Where's my extra 400 health, Blizzard? There you go, there it is. And now I don't have it. Okay, that makes sense because I'm not a bear right now. And I am a bear, but no health. It's just bananas that their own spells don't work. So yeah, can't use that passive right now, even though I logically should be able to. It's daft. Why does it not check for bear form? Yeah. Because it doesn't say anything about, oh, when you turn into a bear. It even says while you are in werebear form. I am in werebear form. I'm always in werebear form. So the first part isn't even working. It's dumb. And I hate it. And I'm mad about it. The Storm one's kind of awesome though, because normally you can only ever have one ultimate and one rank in it. But while you've got the ability to proc the Storm version, you can actually proc both ultimates when you hit your ultimate. And I think that's so much fun. It's absolutely devastating being able to use two ultimates, which is normally illegal. Look at all those guaranteed crits. It's just the best thing because I've got all sorts of effects that sort of linger on the floor. So if I really want my procs for the 5 seconds of guaranteed crit, having something that lingers and will proc it while it goes off is just amazing. Actually, when you are a werewolf and you're trying to make that work, some of the best abilities are, there's a couple of items that change werebear skills into werewolf skills. There's one that turns Grizzly Rage into a werewolf skill that gives you very good efficiency for using your spirit stuff. Like you can get up to a point where all your spirit spenders cost 48% less spirit, which is actually amazing. And there's another one where you turn the werebear's Die Roar into a werewolf skill that can immobilize all the enemies that have poison on them at the time. So you end up with very, very good crowd control as a werewolf, and you get to be able to choose your targets that you want to die first, because everything else is locked in place. And there's another one that I quite like when you're going a hybrid of both bear and wolf, where using a bear skill on any enemy that's poisoned will consume the poison and deal 300% of the poison's damage immediately. So you can just keep putting really big poisons on the enemy with the wolf, and then consuming those poisons with the bear skill. And I like that one, that actually works out quite well, because you can't seem to stack like multiple poisons off of the same skill over and over. So being able to consume it immediately for 300% more is always really beneficial. Not only because it's 300% more, but because you can then apply the next poison and then get 300% out of that, and the next and the next. And I think that might be the only viable way to like stack up the werewolf so that it's doing some really good damage. Or at least one of the ways that it might be possible. I don't know, there's still a lot more to see in the game, so I'm confident there's going to be something out there for werewolf. I want to clear the whole thing rather than going for the end boss, because there's a chance to find a map within the map. So I might as well kill everything. Oh, did you want to know about one skill that I found really, really useful for all specs of Druid that I don't think everyone would think about picking up? If you're looking for like one interesting tip. So in the skill tree, there is this section over here around Trample, Boulder, Hurricane and so on, that normally you would only think to go into if you were going to be like a pure Stormcaster. But I found one point here, so unfortunately this is a little bit weird, but this point, every 18 seconds doing a lightning bolt that hits a nearby enemy, you don't need to be invested in Storm at all to get some good use out of that. This will destroy any nearby crates that are damageable, and sometimes you might just have a legendary appear out of a crate. But also, of course, it will attack monsters. And that can crit, it can overpower crit and everything else. And it's just as powerful as you generally are. So it scales up along with you without any other storm investment. And when it does go off, you do have a 10% chance for it to make the enemy vulnerable for a second. And they're going to take that extra 10% damage from being vulnerable. 20% increased damage, rather. And it is just a really cool 2-point investment that I find really works for everything. And I think quite a lot of the time, unless I was very desperate for points, I don't think I'd ever spec out of this. It's not bad. You'll just see me walking along and then a lightning bolt will open a crate and I'll get a legendary out of it sometimes, or it will kill a monster. I've seen this do like 6,000 damage and kill one of the monsters before I even started to... There we go. Before I even started to fight anything. So yeah, it's a 2-point auto-casting damage spell. And you don't get a lot of spells that auto-cast like a load of damage around you. And it's quite good. Yeah, cool. I mean, if you hate it, you can always take the points back out and put them somewhere else. But I like that one. What did we get? Oh, wow. I got another copy of that hat. The Sacred Unique hat. If that's any better than my current one, it's not. It's so much less item power. But yeah, it's kind of nice that I found another copy of it. Yeah, I doubt that'll ever be better. I might keep it around and have a look at it later. And I got some experience for my glyph, for my Paragon board. Let's allocate all of that. Whoa, that's going to take a while to level up to level 7. Yeah, Nightmare Dungeon completed. No real trip-ups along the way. Easy breezy. 1 rank of Wild Impulsive passives for Druid. What one's that? I wish there was an actual typable search bar rather than this silly keyword search thing. You know what? I'll just try equipping it and seeing if I can spot it that way. Yeah. Here we are, Wild Impulses, finally. Ah, interesting. An extra rank of the one that makes all these abilities cost more spirit and deal more damage. I'm considering it. I'm actually, because my spirit generation is quite interesting, that I can get the whole bar in a proc, I might get rid of generating more spirit with my basic skills, which I don't do so much, and have the overrank of this. Wow, 12% more spirit, 20% increased damage. That is pretty tidy. I like that. while I'm here, was there anything else I really wanted to get rid of? I don't need that. Don't need that either. This one's funny. Because of my hat, I'm always fortified, so my boulder always has 20% increased critical strike chance. It's really interesting having the fortify effect without having to build up any fortify. You just have it because of the hat as soon as you cast an earth spell, and for like the next 7 seconds or 12 seconds or something ridiculous. I've been considering becoming unstoppable while Grizzly Rage is active, but I just can't really spare the point anywhere. Yeah. But at the moment I'm unstoppable for like 9 seconds during Earthen Bulwark, which is kind of fun. And I'm also unstoppable whenever I'm casting Trample, or even if I'm currently crowd controlled, I can use either of the two if they're off a cooldown to become unstoppable. So if I get this as well, I'm going to be unstoppable all the time, which I feel would be kind of cheating the mobs. I don't want to be unfair to the enemies. I want to give them a chance to be able to crowd control me and win sometimes. Yeah, I'm heavily considering putting an effect on this necklace, so I'm going to keep that. I'll put this over in this corner. Oh, my inventory's getting so confusing now that it's getting full. I'm going to have to go on a destroying binge again so that I have less options. Yeah. I mean, the butcher's interesting. He doesn't crowd control all that much. He just hits you eternally for so much damage at such a fast speed. I like the butcher. He's a good gear check. He's just like, you think you can win? Well, here's the butcher. Can you really win? No other super high item level sacreds. So we'll destroy the rest of that. I think we'll destroy these two as well, because they're just regular legendaries. Yeah, I quite often do dungeons with someone else who's a viewer, and we've ran into the Butcher a couple of times now. We found the Butcher in the Nightmare dungeon. I don't know if he's actually modified at all, but I beat the hell out of him both times. It was funny. He was really interested in attacking the other person who's lower level, so I don't know if he's programmed to find the lowest level person in your party and just chase them indefinitely, but that's what it seemed like. At one point last night I had to wedge him into a corner so that he couldn't chase the other person, and we could finally stop and just damage him normally without having to run in circles. So that was really fun. I have such a good laugh when the Butcher's up, because I don't think I'm in any danger, but other people with me might be.